everybody.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Nate. Hi, Victor. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Esther.
Oh, so lovely watching everyone jump in. Hi, Gail. Hi, Veronica. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm also a little bit nervous about tonight, but that's okay.
Tonight, it's all about Kerrie. I've
Yes.
just handed over the whole thing to Kerrie.
You're
She's
not
going
getting out of it though, because I'm getting you to do the
on.
activities.
Yeah, I did that. She's going to do the meditation, and she's also going to do her thing. Now, I don't know if you saw it, but if you have the opportunity, 3 envelopes with photographs in them, if you want to play along. So 3 envelopes, photographs, you can't see who's in them. So if you're going to play, or 3 things that you can put in envelopes that you can't see, hi Myrtle, and that's how you play. So I keep saying I'm not good at this, and now I've just made the decision that I am just marvelous at this. Because if I'm telling myself I'm not good at it, then I won't be. So I'm going to say I am just wonderful at this, and we'll see what happens. But it's not my strength.
I'm laughing because for those of you who came and perhaps had a private reading with me years ago, I don't do a lot of private readings anymore, but private readings years ago, you'll know that I did a lot of just purely psychic readings, but I also use psychometry. So that would just enable me to connect with the other person's energy really quickly. It was also a sign of their permission for me to connect with their energy, to see what was going on with them, and to work through spirit to provide the information for their highest good. So whether that be past, present, or future. And I do the tarot as well, but that was predominantly my strongest area. So tonight, of course, I've done the whole 3 envelope thing, and I said to Annie, look, I've got no problem with knowing that my guides and my connection can be there to let everything come through. But I'm so nervous about getting this wrong, doing this live with the envelopes, that I'm scared I'm going to block the information from coming through just because of my nervousness, which can interfere with the connection. I thought, stuff it. Whatever comes out, as my dad says.
Yeah.
Oh dear, too funny. So
This
I'm on
one
the
is
line
actually.
tonight, guys.
This one is
Hi,
actually.
Lorraine. Nice to have you join us.
It's not the
And
easiest way to
Kathy's
do it.
here. Yeah, so it's good to have everyone here. Yeah, that's it, Nate. Trust and believe. So this
Yeah.
is put my money where my mouth is, right? Because I'm always telling you guys that.
The easiest way to do it is with a metal object or something the person's worn. So this is a wee
Correct.
bit different. If you've seen
Yeah.
Hollywood psychic Tyler Henry, he does this. He
Mm.
has objects and he holds on to the objects. That's how he does it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Just connects you in with that energy frequency. It also happens when you think about somebody, when you're thinking about them, you're actually connecting with their energy through that thought by bringing them to mind, because everyone has their own unique frequency. So interesting how it all works. All right, guys. Well, I'm on for the meditation tonight. Summer, hang around. We're doing a meditation, and then we're talking through our topic of psychometry. But we do, do as many readings as we can at the end, time permitting. We try and get through what we can for everyone. So hang in there, lovely. And thank you for joining us. Okay, so if you'd like to just sit so that you're comfortable and your spine is straight. And when you are ready, close your eyes. Feel your feet on the floor and the feel of the chair beneath you. Focus on your breathing. Don't try to force it in any way. Just let it come and go naturally. Now, with each breath in, say in your mind, relax. And with each out breath, feel all tension drain away as you say in your mind, let go. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out, let go. Continue this for a few more breaths. Now, with each in-breath, see or feel yourself breathing in pure white air, allowing it to expand to every part of your body. This white light is filling you and spilling out to surround you. This pure white light energy is radiating through you, mind, body, and soul. Within this light, you are protected and safe. You become aware of a gentle touch on your right shoulder. Your guardian angel is standing beside you within this beautiful white light. With their other arm, they reach upward, making a circling motion above you. They are drawing in the healing energies of the universe. With each circling motion, they are showering you in the frequency of colors that shine within you. Sparkles of red shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle and shine in the chakra at the base of your spine. Sparkles of orange shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle and shine in your sacral chakra. Sparkles of yellow shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle and shine in your solar plexus chakra. Sparkles of green and pink shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle and shimmer in your heart chakra. Sparkles of blue shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle and shimmer in your throat chakra. Sparkles of indigo shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle in the middle of your forehead, activating your third eye chakra. Sparkles of violet shower over you and merge with your energy, gently coming to settle on the top of your head, opening your crown chakra. As your guardian angel lowers their arm, see or feel all these colors within your light body merging together. They shine as beautiful white light, even brighter than before. Allow yourself to feel the awareness of your light body, your soul essence that connects you to divine source energy. As you do this, your light is extending upward and merging with a silver light. The divine energy of angels and spiritual beings that serve divine source for our highest good. Feel the love energy of this realm as you connect with this light frequency. As you do this, your light continues to extend upward, merging with a golden light, the light of divine source energy and unconditional love. That divine source energy of creation. Feel that love filling every fiber of your being. Your soul essence is connected to heavenly realms from where you came. Your guardian angel speaks gently now. They have a message for you. Remember who you are, a spiritual being created by and connected to the divine source energy of love, Yahweh. Recognize your true purpose, to serve and to love, for you too are served and loved by the angels and guides, all ready and willing to help you whenever you ask of them. Realize your full potential. Now is the time. It's your time. And as you think, so it is. Let those thoughts be motivated by love and joy for all. I am always with you. Stay open to receive my messages, as I will do my best to guide you. We are always connected. Take a deep breath and feel your connection to all that is, and all that ever was, and all that ever will be. It is time to return now to this time and place. Thank your guardian angel for this journey of connection that they have shared with you, and know that they are always with you. Take a deep breath and become aware of your feet on the floor and the feel of the chair beneath you. Take another deep breath, becoming fully aware of your physical body. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes.
That was lovely, Kerrie.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
That was beautiful. It was like being covered in glitter.
I actually love that meditation and just allowing to feel the connection, but not just with our own soul essence, but also understanding that that connection goes much higher, to that soul essence of ourselves that still exists in spirit realm.
Mm.
So I really, really, and there I am doing the same motion of the angels as I'm saying it. That's the Italian in me. What can I say? I have to talk with my hands.
That was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Ah,
Now
just
you have to work, woman.
now I have to work. Now I have to come back myself because I do go
Oh,
through
it's
that
hard,
all with
isn't it?
you. And now I need to work. So tonight's topic, psychometry. So psychometry is also called clairtangency. And what that means is clear seeing or clear feeling through touch. So I'm going to share a little story about psychometry. And when I first came across psychometry, and some of you may have already heard this story, so sorry if I'm repeating that for you, but I do love this story because it really reminds me of how so many things that we were open to as a child, we tend to dismiss and let go of, because we're taught differently. And sometimes we're allowed to continue that and we follow on with that connection, and then sometimes we seek it again as an adult. So that whole wonder that's in every child. So my first experience with psychometry was when I went away on a farm stay with actually my brother Les. I don't even know if he's in here tonight. I haven't seen him.
He is.
Um, and the beautiful Sue, his wife Sue, and her brothers and sisters, some of her brothers and sisters, and I think my brother Stephen was there as well. And I remember we went to a farm stay, and my recollection of it is it was near Bathurst, because I remember that the Bathurst races were on at the time, or there was a lot of people in the area because of the Bathurst races. But that's my recollection as a child. Now, I probably would have been maybe 8 or 9 at the time. It was winter, it was cold, and I was wearing one of those big puffy jackets. And it was red. It's so clear in my mind this day because it's something that stuck with me. And I'd gone out for a bit of a walk, and I saw on the ground this really pretty rock. And this rock had like shimmers of red through it and blue through it, and it was just a really interesting rock. And I picked up the rock in my hand and I said to the rock, because I talked to a lot of innate things and animals when I was little, um, oh, you're very pretty. Where did you come from? And then I felt my hand starting to burn. And I threw the rock and dropped it. Went, ah! And then I started to panic because I was only young and I was thinking, oh, I wonder if that was snake venom across the rock. So, and how am I going to say that I've done this? And now, I could have the venom of a snake. Anyway, I was crazy thoughts as a child. So I went back to the farmhouse, and I'm not sure who I asked. I think it was my brother, whether snake venom on a rock could be on a rock, and if it was, would it burn you, and would you still be poisoned by it? And I sort of got the answer that, look, as long as you don't ingest it, it would be okay, but it wouldn't burn you. I wouldn't think that it would burn you. So I thought, oh, okay. Well, years later, I actually thought to myself, well, I did ask that rock where it came from. So as a child, it probably told me. So I went and had a bit of a look around the area and found that there was a volcanic area, in thousands and thousands in that area, thousands and thousands of years ago. So I thought, oh, I wonder if it was volcanic rock. And when I asked it, where did you come from? It showed me where it came from. So for me, I believe that was my very first experience with psychometry. Now, when you're working with psychometry, what I will say is you are opening yourself up to communication on a multiple of levels. So always work with protection and asking for that protection out loud and raise your energy. So we're always talking about that, connecting correctly for the highest good into those higher energies, and we're always talking about that. But with psychometry, you're bringing it directly into your energy field to do that reading. So it's really important. So whilst I'm going to teach you this technique, I also ask you to promise me, right, that you will also work with your protection, that you won't just take an object and pull it into your energy field, because otherwise you can start taking on even ailments or something of somebody else. You can actually take that into your energy and really feel it, right? So what we want to do is be in a position of protection. Now, it is said that we receive with our left hand and we give with our right hand. So if you've ever received a certificate or a diploma, you always sort of go up and you accept it with this hand, you're shaking their hand with the other hand. So think, receiving and giving. Interestingly, when you work with healing, laying of hands healing that I've worked with previously, or even Pella, which I'm now working with, thank you, Nate, that I feel the energy through both hands, right? So I don't really differentiate. But for some reason with psychometry, I always do hold the object in my left hand and I place the right hand over the top, which creates that sort of, I'm holding that energy in between my energy to read from it. So that's how I work with psychometry. Now, if I'm reading for someone, metal objects, as Annie mentioned before, are really good to use because metal objects are great conductors of electricity. The most chatty student I've ever had. Yeah. I wasn't listening to that, Belle. I'm a rebel from way back. So when I'm reading, metal objects are really good because they absorb energy, and they contain it. So it's a really good way to connect in quickly. Now, it's easier if it's something that someone wears all the time or constantly, or at least wears for several days before you do a reading for them. So it could be a watch, it could be a necklace, it could be a ring, it could be, any number of things that belong to that person if you're doing it as a psychic reading. If that object has belonged to someone else prior to that, then you can pick up information about that person as well. And sometimes if they've worn it or had it for longer, you'll pick up more about who it really belonged to or where it came from than the person you're reading for. So it's just something to be aware of. So when you're going through that process, if someone did have a sore back or was getting really bad headaches, you may feel that. How you can tell whether it's you or whether it belongs to another person is you just put it down for a second. You take a few deep breaths and just relax. And if it stays with you, then it belongs to you. If it dissipates, it belongs to the other person or it sits with the object. And so that's how you can read with it. Now, that's also why I say it's really important to make sure that your energy is raised and you're working at that level of protection. Because what I can also say at that point is, okay, I've got that. I understand what you're giving me. You can take that away from me now, right? So I don't have to continue with the headache or continue with the sudden neck pain or back pain, right? So it's a way that you can separate that. So what we were going to do tonight is a little bit of an exercise. Now, if you've got your notebooks, maybe write these down because it's a good basis just to run from. If not, that's okay. You can always look back later and you can use any questions that you like. So a good way to practice psychometry is to put some photos in envelopes or to work with a group of other people, right, where they're putting an object into a bowl that you don't know whose object belongs to who, right? And you all take an object, obviously not your own, and that you all sit and do a reading with it and you share the impressions that you get. Now, you could see something, you could hear something, you could feel something. Again, you're using basically all of the clairs are coming in and communicating to you through this touch method. Okay, so you're writing down that information, and then you can share it and see if you also can feel who the object belongs to. So that's in a group setting. If you're wanting to practice on your own, we use the envelope technique. Okay, so that's where we pop a photo, and it can be a person, either living or past. It could be one of your pets. It could be a place, that you've been to. It could be almost anything that you actually put inside the envelope. You then shuffle all the envelopes. Make sure your envelopes are the same, right? So it's the same envelope. Nate left me some envelopes. So, Nate, these came in handy. Thank you. um, so that they are all the same, right? Because otherwise you'll know which one you put in which envelope, right? And it is about practicing it. You can ask yourself things like, sensing. I want to sense if this is male or female. And that could be for an animal or for a human being. And get the feeling whether you think it's male or female. Then you can just ask for information. Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it an animal? Depending on, so you're waiting on that information and the answer to come in. And then you're just writing that down as you go. Then you can just hold the envelope and just breathe and allow to come through to you any images or thoughts or feelings that want to flow. That's staying in that connection. And then just write down all those things that are coming through. At the end of it, then you can open the envelope and see how close you got. Was it right? Was it, the right person? Was it who you were thinking of? What was the information that was shared? Can a photograph of someone hold the subject's energy? Yes, it does. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Kerrie?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the op shop queen,
Mm-hmm.
and I've bought like jewellery and stuff from op shops. And there's stuff maybe that I've picked up and I've thought, no, I don't like that, simply because of the way it feels. But
Mm-hmm.
if I choose to bring it home, can you work to cleanse these things? I've
Yeah.
bought clothes as well. My daughter
Yeah.
used to say, "You're wearing dead people's clothes," and I used to say to her, "They're dead. They don't need them anymore."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so how do you go about that? Like if it was jewelry or something?
Removing energy. Clothes is fairly simple, right? Because even washing them and cleaning
Yeah.
them and, that sort of intent, the fibre themselves, unless it's something they wore every single day of their lives, doesn't hold it too much. I will say, though, I've got a sloppy Joe was my brother's, that I still feel him when I wear that, which is interesting, even though it's been washed a million times, but it's not a bad energy, if you know what I mean. My energy is now most definitely dominant on it, but I've still got that subtle energy of him. For jewelry, it's similar to cleansing crystals, right? You just want to clean them down, and you can use moonlight, you can use sage, you can use all sorts of things and release the energy. And it's about the intent of releasing that energy. Now, something to be aware of, though, is that sometimes the energy can be so strong in an object. If someone wore something for, 40 years, every day for 40 years, it can take some time for that energy to dissipate. So trust yourself, like if you're holding it, Annie, and you're going, oh, that doesn't feel right, or actually I'm comfortable with this energy, you'll know what can work with your energy and what won't, so listen to that, because that is important. And just know that it can take a bit of time, for that to change. So you'll be doing it possibly more than once, and listen to it. If you're wearing it and you feel uncomfortable, take it off. All right? Know that sort of, do another cleansing on it. And I'll give you an example. I purchased actually this ring here from an antique store. I just really resonated with it and really liked it. But I found that when I was wearing it, I would often feel anxious and nervous. And I thought it was, oh, it's me. And then I thought, hang on a minute, I've been wearing that ring. And I went, oh, I didn't even cleanse it. Right? Like ding, 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 ding. So I actually took it off and I cleansed it. And I would say I cleansed or I went through that process probably about 3 or 4 times before I no longer felt the energy at all coming through it, and then now my energy has replaced it. So it took a while before I could wear this ring for long periods of time without getting that feeling. I wouldn't get it straight away, but long periods of time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Has anyone got any questions so far on what I'm saying? Okay, so left hand, right hand. Talked about, I always use my left hand because I'm right-handed. So receiving is right and giving is left. But I want to put a sort of disclaimer around that because it's not the same for everybody. And if your dominant hand is your left hand, then it may well be in reverse for you. So try it in reverse, right? So if you're a left-handed person, then left-handed might be receiving and right hand might be giving. So just give that a go. And yeah. So yeah, it definitely is the old stuff. You're probably right, Lorraine. I've got a lot of bracelets with broken clasps on them that they can't fix. Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, it's so when you're doing it, it's just asking the questions and don't force it. Allow yourself just to sit and hold the object, focus on your breathing, and just allow the information to flow through. Right? That's the easiest way to do it. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a demo on how I do this. And you can follow along and do this with yours as well and see how you go. Now, I've got 3 envelopes here, which you can see are all the same envelope. Hopefully you can see no marks, no markings or anything on them. Okay, but I do have one here that I haven't sealed yet. And the reason why I haven't sealed it is because I just wanted to show you that inside here, I've got the photo, but I've also put another piece of paper around it, right? So that's so that I definitely can't see through the envelope. Now, I'm not asking you to do that at home or do it whilst you're practicing. I just did that for tonight so that you could see I definitely can't see through the envelopes that I've got. And this is where I get a little nervous because if I stuff up tonight, I really stuff up. So let me just pull that off and seal that one as well. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not worried about the connection, and I'm not worried about my guides and angels assisting with helping me with the information flow come through. It's just Johnny on the spot, right? If I get this one wrong. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards so I don't know which is which in the photos. Okay, and I'm going to get you to pick for me. Left hand, Annie, left hand is 1, middle is 2, right hand is 3. Which envelope do you want me to go with?
Middle.
Okay.
One in the middle's the nicest.
Okay. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the envelope in my hand, and my hand is a little bit cupped underneath, just to allow, I don't know if you can really see that, but to sort of allow the energy flow. Now, if this is an item, I'd be holding it right in the center of the palm of my hand. Okay. Now I'm going to place my hand over the top. Now, when you're doing this yourself with your own photos, you might find it's also fairly quick to know which one that you've got. Once you start receiving information, it's easy to put it together. When you're reading for someone else, that information may not make sense to you at all. So again, even if you think it's really silly what you're getting through, jot it down or share it, because that can mean something to someone else. It doesn't have to mean something to you. So it's the same thing about trusting. So now that I've just said, I'm giggling now. Now that I've just said that it should be fairly easy for you to tell who it is by holding it like this when it's your own photos, that the information that comes through, you'll know who it belongs to or what it belongs to fairly quickly with the first bit of information. I feel like I'm being played with a little bit now because the first thing that I was actually seeing was curly brown hair. And that actually doesn't help me at all because all three people in these individual photos could be considered to have brown curly hair. Okay. Right, the next thing that I'm getting through is the number 4, and then I'm hearing the laughter of children. So that's narrowing it down for me a bit. One of the photos is of my sister Kathy. She has 4 children and curly brown hair. And one of the photos is of my brother Michael. Now, he also has 4 children. And I mean, he kept his hair a bit shorter, but when it was longer, you could definitely see the wave in it. And when it was longer, it was curly. So, okay. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say it's definitely not my mum. It's either my sister Kathy or it's my brother Michael. Both the same family was important to me. That doesn't help me differentiate between the two because family in my family is always very important to us, as it is with most people. So it's not discerning one or the other. Oh, I now felt something wet being put under my eyes, the feeling of a tissue being put under my eyes. And my eyes being black. Okay, I know who this is now. Okay, so see how one of it was feeling, one of it was showing me something, one of it was something I heard. So you can see how all the different Claires are actually coming in, and I now know. Okay, I better get this right. I now know who this is. My sister was a beauty therapist, and I used to go to her to get my eyelashes tinted. And I felt the tissue. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. The tissue under my eye and the blackness being her doing my eyelashes. Okay. Will we open it, guys? Right, so there you can see I've still got the paper around it. I'm going to show you before I show me. I'm going to hide behind it. Is it my sister Kathy, Annie?
It is.
Okay, now I'm getting emotional. Sorry, guys. That's my beautiful sister Kathy.
She is beautiful.
Okay, I should have picked landscape photos. I didn't think this through, did I?
While you're busy crying, can I just
Yep,
talk while you're crying?
yep, do that.
You have a little, find a tissue for your issue.
Yeah,
I've got 3 envelopes here as well. And I did this in a slightly different way to you. And what I did was I had the 3 envelopes down flat on the table. And I've got 3 different people in the envelopes. But I thought, what was my feeling? One of them is my dad. What was the feeling I had? Because the 3 people that are in the envelopes, the relationship and the way that I demonstrated love to them and all that stuff was very, very different. So I said, okay, is the person male or female? I heard male. So then how did I express love to this person, and I felt this feeling, and I instantly knew who it was. So I picked up my envelope and I opened it, and I knew it was my dad.
Yeah.
And that's me with 80s hair and fearless fly glasses. But instantly I knew it was my dad.
Yeah.
So just a different, and to me, like you're channeling into like the energy. I was using that kind of love connection. And Tracy's just said I'm amazing. Tracy, I'm actually crap at this. I've done it before. I've done psychometry before where I've held things, and I'm not very good, but I'm not bad. But this photograph stuff I've done before, and I was absolutely crap at it. And today I said to Kerrie, I'm going to say that I'm just wonderful at it, and it's going to work for me. So now I'm going to you do another one, Kerrie.
Okay, all right. So here we go again. I just want you to see again, right? They're exactly the same. You can't see through it. See that? No markings. Okay. Oh, let me just throw them around. Annie, one
Left
or
hand.
two? Left hand?
Left hand.
Okay, that's right to you guys, but that's my left hand. Now, another way that you can do things through is as you're holding it, particularly if it's a photo, if you just run your hand over the top of it, you're actually getting that movement of energy and allowing that energy to connect in with you. It's just another way or another method that I use. Annie can feel it by looking at them and by holding her hand over the top. So she's doing it this way, similar to actually how you pull tarot cards, Annie.
Yeah, same way.
You know, you're going with the energy by feeling where you need to go. So similar method to that with the clear touch. Okay.
Kerrie, can you keep your eyes shut for a minute? I'm trying to now tune into you, but I need you to keep your eyes shut for a minute because, guys, can you see that? I don't want Kerrie to see it, but that's where I think she is. You can open your eyes now.
Okay. Okay. The energy from this is so warm. So warm. It's like a huge hug that I'm feeling. It's female energy. So I know it's female energy, so I know where I'm going with this. And they're telling me I'm always connected because I wear her ring. So that's a giveaway. So I'm going to, this is my mum. This is my mum. So let's open this one. Okay, so again, you can see it's covered in this other one. I tried to use all the same style of photos for these guys too, so I couldn't feel any difference either. So you can tell me, I'm hiding behind it so I can't see my screen, Annie. My mum?
Of course it's your mum. And we were all wrong because while your eyes were shut, I did that. And Nate, Fiona, and Marion all said, yes, yes, yes. So we're all crap.
You are
Either
also
that or I just steered you all wrong.
You're also trying to connect in with my energy across the screen, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm direct into that energy, right? And this one was easy for me because I only had to feel two things: that warmth of the hug. My mum always gives me a physical sign when she's around, which is the feeling of a gentle hand on my forehead. which is something she always used to do if we were unwell, and that was just so healing. She was a natural healer. And the ring, that was a quick one for me to do. But just to show you, there was the additional one. I'm going to open this one. Okay, so here we go again, and there's Michael. And it was his birthday last week, so happy birthday, Michael. Okay.
Lorraine has just said she thought it was, Nate said he thought it was grandma. Lorraine said she felt it was female and didn't want to, too scared to comment against Annie. And I've just put, feel free. I'm hopeless at this. Feel free to comment.
And guys, that's what this is all about. We all have areas that we connect with, some stronger than others, and we can all develop those other areas as well. But this is a safe space, guys. And I'm glad it is, because I was like, if I get this wrong. But I had to trust that psychometry is actually my strongest area. So everything would be fine. Yeah.
Can I flip what you've just said too, please? This is one of the things that Kerrie and I talk about all the time. And when Kerrie was having her little panic attack, which was a waste of bloody time because we all knew she was going to be able to do it, one of the things I said to her was put your ego in a box, because it's one of the things that we talk about all the time. And it's one of the things that it doesn't matter whether we're right or wrong. It's all about the practice. And once you get the feel of the energy, whether you do it by, and someone else also said, if you've got 2 or 3 people in the picture, do you pick up their energy as well? And when Kerrie was saying, when Kerrie was saying, hers only had 1 person, mine have 2 or 3 different people in them. So I would say, and there's one, I'll show you. There's one of mine, and that's Paul. That's my fabulous husband. And so with that one, I would be saying, is there 1 or more people in the photograph? And if I heard 1, I would know it would be Paul. If I heard more, then I would know. The third one is the most glorious woman in the world. That little tiny person. That's my auntie, my Aunt Margaret, who raised me.
Raised you,
She's my great aunt. She's my mother's aunt. And that's my 2 children with her. And that she was chronically ill when that happened, but she held on until my children made it home and actually saw her. And then when they came back to Australia, she just passed away. But she was 4 foot nothing with her hands in the air and as feisty as hell. She was no telephone, and she was in a telephone box on the phone making a call. And this man pulled the door of the telephone box open and was trying to take her bag. And she beat the shit out of him with her umbrella. And she'd have been 68. What are you doing? And she was hammering him, and he had to run away. She used to carry pepper in her pocket in a tub, a paper tub.
So resourceful.
The top would pop, and it was like mace. And if anybody went anywhere near her, she'd have peppered them. And then hit them with her hand. She was just divine, glorious woman.
And I think that's it. So that energy, Annie, that you're describing right there, that I'm sure everyone's feeling in the way that you're describing that's what you're keying in on when you're feeling that. You're actually keying in on the energy. When you start to recognize the energy, you can recognize what it relates to.
Yeah.
Now, psychometry is also used quite a bit for missing persons cases, and you might have seen some of those with psychics either holding a photo of the person that's gone missing, and they may not, a lot of them don't even look at the photo. Again, they use that sort of technique to get in the initial information to confirm that they're connecting with the right energy. And they may use items that belong to that person to help them to connect into the energy and receive through information about them. So you may have seen some of that. There's a few YouTubes where psychics have sort of demonstrated what they've done there, and in working with the police with that sort of thing. You can use it in a reading with someone, in a pure psychic reading, by holding an object that belongs to them and receiving information. Again, it's about whatever you get through, write it down, share it. Don't hold yourself back because you go, well, that sounds silly. Now, I'm going to use that example that when my sister was coming through wet tissues under my eyes. Now, I knew what that was, but if I had to receive that for someone else, right, as long as I don't censor myself from sharing it, that would have made sense to that person, if they were, so you can see how sometimes it's silly things that come through, but it really gives a connection. So don't censor yourself. And practice, it's all about the practice and allowing that flow to come through. You'll find what works for you or not. Kerrie says, I held a coin a friend gave me from Bali and received an amazing story. I've never tried it with a photo. We'll have to try it. Yes, so coins. I think if you were here earlier, you would have heard my original story about the rock that I asked where it came from. And it can take you to places and times. So it doesn't have to be a person's energy. You can actually connect in with the energy of the object and understand what had happened to that object or where that object has been. Yeah.
I agree with Esther. The weirder the message, the more I trust it. Like I say ridiculous things to people, absolutely ridiculous things to people. But it's what Kerrie said. The minute you filter, they miss the message.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be really, really important. The one thing that's the connection that would mean something to them. And that's why no matter how ridiculous it sounds, I will say it. And that's the same as that. Put the ego aside. A lot of people are worried about looking stupid or people thinking they're stupid or any of that stuff. And for me, that I said this to someone today who was actually here. I said, it's not yourself you're trusting or distrusting. It's your guides you're trusting or distrusting, and they will not steer you wrong. They just won't steer you wrong. And when we're practicing, sometimes wrong is good because it makes you practice harder. Whereas if you get it right first time, you think, oh, that's good, I can do that. And off you pop to something else.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to keep doing it and doing it, you'll learn how to work with it.
And look, just for me, psychometry was something I connected with fairly easily. But again, it's energy work. And so it's not just one thing that I can connect with. It's that empath. It's the connection and feeling to things that I seem to work. And that's why I think divination rods were fairly easy for me too, because they're all energy tools. You're connecting into energy and allowing the energy just to flow through you for those, for what's coming through.
Robin, did I really say that to you? Surely not. These words come out in my out loud voice.
No filter. And that's the way, if you're going to be really authentic about what you're doing, no filter, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent, it can be no filter. Yeah.
Sure, you did. Oh, probably.
And
It's good?
everything that comes through when you're working at a higher level, the intention is for your highest good, Robin. You need to remember that.
And I don't remember anyway, because, I can't remember what I've said. And by the way, excuse me, Robin, I'm just the conduit. It was your guides that told you to suck it up.
Yeah, don't blame the messenger.
Don't blame the messenger.
Don't blame the messenger. So did anyone actually bring an envelope along tonight, or a few envelopes along tonight, and were you doing it along with us tonight? And if you were, how did you go? Let's see if any comments pop up on that. No one brought an envelope.
Robin, I remember. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was really naughty.
Yeah, give it a go, Gail. Okay. And Les just said the final part for the rods arrived this week. Hurrah! And the pouches are ready. So Annie, in her email out to everyone last week, shared Les's email address. So if you were wanting to purchase the divination rods that Les has made, and you did see them on a previous live stream, please email him and he'll get back to you about the arrangements so that
Yeah, I
they
want
can
some.
be sent out to you. Yeah, I want some too, so I must email this week.
Yeah.
Put my order in now. That final
Do you
part
want long
there.
ones, Kerrie?
Yes. But I think the pocket rods would also be good because I do a lot of walking with the dog.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind having some in my back pocket when
Yeah,
I
the
was
short
walking.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
Lorraine, I get people to record things. And there are people who, like I had a lady who just wouldn't listen to me. If she'd been 3, she'd have put her fingers in her ears and la me the way my daughter used to do it, because she truly didn't want to hear what I had to say. And it's only happened to me twice. But this lady just wouldn't have a bar of it. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can't, I've got no control over that stuff. What she did though was 2 weeks later, she brought her husband and put him in my space and said, do a reading. Because her initial comment when she sat down was, I've been to 3 readers and no one can read me. And I thought, that's because you don't want anybody to read you, you know? And it didn't matter what I would have said, she didn't want to hear. Sorry, I'm choking to death here. But when I read for her husband, it was the same messages, because they're husband and wife, same issues, same messages, same stuff. And it was all about her son. And when I got to the end of the reading, he said, what am I going to tell her? And I said, not my problem. And he said, she's going to ask me. This lady was 83. She's going to ask me. And I said, yep, I'm not responsible for what you tell her. You can tell her whatever you like. And he said, she won't want to hear it. And I said, no, so don't tell her I was crap. Tell her I didn't tell you anything. Make up something, you know, because she doesn't want to hear it. So, you know, I've got no control over that. I can just deliver. And people sometimes don't get it. But then I'll get a phone call or I'll get a text later saying, now I know what you were talking about. It clicked. Or I asked my mum, or I asked somebody, or, you know, like if it's a message that comes through, I'll say, this isn't for you. This is for somebody else. Somebody, blah, blah. And nah, I don't know them. But then I'll get a response saying, yeah, you were right.
Yeah, where it comes in from. And I think just to add on to that, Annie, is never underestimate the ripple effect or the butterfly effect. Because if you are being given that message for someone and you are willing to share it, although they're not willing to accept it, know that it could be the beginning point for more of that to come through other ways and for them to eventually open up to what that message is. But it's important regardless. So don't ever underestimate that ripple effect or that butterfly effect and the synchronicities that then start presenting to that person so that they can gradually open up and accept the messages that have been given to them.
Yeah. Esther's just said sometimes they have psychic amnesia. I with tea leaves in particular, because I get initials and letters and numbers and pictures and stuff. I think I've told you this before. In a man's cup, I had an R and I had a C, and I'll say to them first name, last name, and no, don't know anybody, have no idea. Read for his wife next, and then once his wife went, he came back in, stuck his head in my door, and he said to me, "The R and the C." I said, "Mm-hmm." He said, "Apparently they're my grandchildren." Because when you're in that space, and I'll say to people, you will forget everybody you have ever met.
Yes.
You won't remember the
Yeah.
names of your family. And that's one of the reasons why I get people to record it. Because, like, if I'm talking about somebody, I'll say to them, I've got a grandmother here. And they say, I never knew my grandma. Is your mum still around? Ask your mum.
Yeah.
And they'll come back. Or I'll say, who's Mary? I don't know. Feels like a grandma. Ask your mum, ask around, because that's who it feels like. Oh, it's my dad's mum, or my dad's grandma, or my husband's grandma, or something. But it's good for them to record it, because they'll listen to it. Sometimes when people are coming back to see me the second time on the way, they'll listen to what I said the last time.
Last time, yeah. And then it suddenly like resonates, and I was like, oh, okay, now I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen, your comment there, you did, but your hands just got really hot. That is still a good starting point, because what it's doing is showing you that you're building the energy connection between the object and between you receiving it. So I think if you gave yourself some time with it, like obviously I went quite quickly tonight, but I'm also used to using it as a way to read. If you just sat with that, holding it and allowed that energy to become stronger, I think you'd start getting those messages through pretty easily, because that's a really good starting point. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to leave it on that one. If you are not part of our newsletter or our mailing list and you would like to receive the workbook from tonight, please email myself or Annie. Actually, Annie's probably got all the lists now, don't you? More so than me. So if you email Annie on, and hang on, I'll put that, if I can get this moving.
Celtic Tarot. Celtic Tarot. 3 dot tarot 3 at gmail.com. Now, is Karen Clark on here tonight? I've got you, and I've added you to our email list 2 or 3 times, and somehow or another it doesn't seem to be going through to you. And the email I've got for you is
there's two emails.
It starts with Clarky. So if it's not going through, and maybe I've got it on the other one, which is something I don't know what the other one is, but if you could please flick me through an email and let me know which one you want me to actually do. Nate's just said, do we have to pick workbook 1, 2, or 3?
No,
you are so naughty.
It's all just the one, and it's a shorter workbook for this one. It really talks about the protection, staying safe, the methodology, and some questions that you can ask, and how to close the session afterwards, which is really just releasing that object, thanking your spirits and guides for working with you, and formally bringing the session to a close.
Okay. So Karen said yes, that's the one. So I'll make sure I will check that you're on
that. Yeah. So if you would like our workbooks, now the only thing that we do ask for though from you with the workbooks is that they are for your personal use, not to reproduce or use for a private course that you run yourself. So they are the intellectual property of Annie and I in what we put together. We're more than happy to share them with you, and we share those for free. but we ask that you just respect that they're for your use.
Kerrie, are you going to take Fiona?
Fiona? Yep. Fiona, what I've got here is the card Close Encounters. Now, what I'm feeling coming through for you is that you have put a protection around yourself at this time. And that protection, I really want you back out of that cage, actually. I want you to fly free. So it's about knowing that, yes, there are other energies and other things around you that you're saying, okay, I don't want to feel this, or I don't want to get involved with certain things, which is fine. So that's about protecting your energy from those other energies. So use your prayer of protection. Take a step back from people, so you're giving yourself auric space, so your energy is not with each other. But you know what? You're ready to fly again. You're ready to fly and be free from whatever barriers this is that you've put up between yourself and other people around you.
Veronica, I've got new cards tonight. They are Oracle of the Shapeshifters. I'm trying to grab the box here. These ones. They're very beautiful. They're by Lucy Cavendish. For you, what I pulled is the mermaid in a koi pond. This is about, for me, it's about you've been trying to be what you think people want you to be. And this is about rediscover your individuality. Koi are really, really strong little fishes who have to swim upstream. And this is about be who you really are. You don't need to hide, and you don't need to pretend, and you don't need to turn yourself out of shape to be what people think you should be, because just being you is enough. And for your friend, Bernie, what I've got for Bernie is it's a card that says the Wolves of Venice, and it's saying you are far, far away from home. This card is about feeling or being disconnected. And for me, this card's very much about get grounded, work out what's important to you, get back to yourself. And she also has, it's like take off the mask. There's a little mask there. It's like take off the masks, get back to who you really are. The messages are very similar. And it was also pretty similar to the first message Kerrie had. So this is get back to who you are, get your feet back on the ground. I'm feeling disconnection. Get connected again, get earthed.
Mm-hmm. And Kathy, what I've got for you is the card Time Machine. Now, guys, I'm actually using the 7 energies cards tonight. Sorry, I don't think I told you that. So, Kathy, what I've got is Time Machine. Now, this is an interesting one because there's a couple of things coming through here. I actually feel that you are meditating more, and you're actually starting to receive through information that could be to do with past life, but also your current spiritual journey and your purpose moving forward. And I've got it all connected to this time machine. So you're really connected into those energies right now and understanding past, present, and future for yourself. Trust that and go with it. Because there's a whole lot of clarity coming here. Now, what they're saying is this isn't about reflecting on the past and wishing, oh, I hadn't done this or I hadn't done that, because you wouldn't have the wisdom you have now had you not had those experiences. Remove those experiences, you also remove the wisdom. So whilst some of the things could be a little bit confronting, even past life information could be a little bit confronting, just know that it's about you putting all the pieces together that have brought you to this moment and this time right now, where everything is coming together for you on your spiritual journey. That's a really beautiful message, actually. It's about moving forward.
Miss Myrtle, this is a really pretty card. This is the Dragonling Garden, and it says, a new world is born. Now, there's a lot of dark in this card. I know where you've just been. I know you've just had surgery, but this card, look at all these beautiful animal healing around you. We've got fawns and we've got little bunny rabbits and we've got a squirrel and we've got a dragon. And this new world, you've been struggling with walking, you've been struggling with your hips, you're currently in physiotherapy. And this card for me just feels like the dark is going. There's all that beautiful blue sky just waiting for you. And once you're back on your feet, a new opportunity, a new world is going to be there for you because you won't be in pain anymore. So that's a really pretty card for you.
Fiona Butler, the card that's come out for you is Tender Embrace. And this is beautiful. I feel like you're really being loved and supported right now, and that you're actually open to those energies and understanding that love and support can come from so many different sources, but there's a real strong connection for you right now. And there's a whole warmth that I'm feeling around this. You are really, for want of a better word, vibing with someone and vibing on that same page with someone, and you're both raising each other's energies. So enjoy that. This is a really strong connection that you have. In fact, it almost could be like a soul connection here, soul tribe connection here that's coming through, because it's extremely strong. And you also see the elephants in this card as well, which is, talking about that whole tribe. So, it's more than one person that's around you, but there's a very strong connection close to you, lifting you up. So really enjoy those beautiful energies. And yes, you deserve it. So thank you is the right word to use when you get the help.
Marissa, oh God, I'm hopeless. This card, you can't see the colours in it. This card is all pink and it's called the albino alligator. And this card is about magical protection is necessary. I'm just feeling that you've been snapped at by that bloody alligators. And I feel that there's a lot of stuff, heart stuff happening at the moment. And this is about protect yourself. Don't get sucked in. Your kindness is your greatest strength, but it's also your greatest weakness. So I think it's time to kind of put up some boundaries and look after yourself and don't get tied up in other people's issues. Just take care of yourself, love, and watch that heart energy stuff. You are the most important person. It's time to be selfish and care for yourself.
And Nate, the card that came through for you is this card here, a powerful move. So look, lots of things, and I'm aware of this, so sometimes it's easy to read when you know nothing. But in this instance, there's a whole lot of things that you have been doing in rapid succession, but they're all puzzle pieces to the same puzzle, right? So there is a big move coming where all of those things are just connecting. You're really understanding how it all works together. And I actually do see a real shift in what you're doing, and what you'll be teaching. So that's definitely coming through, because I'm getting that teaching stuff as well. And they're saying don't overthink it, because it just is what it is. Okay, so don't overthink it too much.
Esther, Orca Magic. The Akashic Libraries open. I'm just feeling that your skills are developing at an exponential rate. It just feels like, it also feels like sometimes things are going too fast for you. It's like information overload. What I would say in terms of that Orca magic, to calm you or to settle you, I would say meditation, but have whale music, whale singing. I just feel like it's something like that that needs to settle your energy. I think there's a lot of downloads and a lot of learning happening for you at the moment. And I think it's important that you take time out to actually stop and listen. Yeah, I don't even know you, but I feel you have a tendency to be a human doing and not be a human being. And I think it's time for you to actually stop, breathe, and listen instead of keeping on the move. And that the whale music, the song of the whales, will calm your energy and allow you to process what's happening at the moment.
AJ, the card that came through for you is the Royal You. And look, I actually really like this card because it's saying two things. It's saying you are beautiful, right? You are a beautiful person, and you have this beautiful energy, and you don't accept compliments well. So that's why they want me to give you some, right? You sort of go, oh, and shy away from it. But they want you to embrace that royal you, because you are such a beautiful person, and you do deserve really good things, good luck, good fortune, great opportunities, all coming in for you. At the same time, they're also saying to me that you just openly give to other people. You work to serve, which is a great thing. But also, don't forget to also be as kind to yourself, that sometimes you also need that little bit of downtime, and it's not selfish. Okay, they want you to know that sometimes you actually need that to recharge and regenerate, particularly when there's a lot of various demands on your plate, which I feel that there is right now, because they just put a smorgasbord in front of me. So there's lots of things that you're trying to do, and you're wanting to do these things because you want to do them. So it's not like you're being forced. You want to do it. You want to be there for people. You want to help. You want to provide support. You're always giving love. It's all out there. At the same time, that's celebrating the beautiful person that you are, but also being kind to yourself and saying, no, it's not selfish when I just need that little bit of time to relax and recharge. That's giving back to you as well. I'll leave that one with you.
Gail, this is so you. This card, isn't she cute? And look what she's got in her hand. She's got a quill. Once upon a midnight dreary. This card is all about creativity, writing, expression, artistic flow. I know you do some of this, but it just feels like journaling, that painting stuff. I think that's something you have a bit more time on your hands now. And I think that's a space where you should step into. There's a whole pile of talents in this area. So I think this is the time now that you have a bit more time to step into that writing, the creative expression. Let just let it go and see what happens with it, because I think you'll surprise yourself.
Mm-hmm. And for Sue, the card that I pulled here is called Bearing Fruit. And the message that I'm getting through with this card is it's like everything that you have worked towards, or all the things where, and I'm just going to repeat verbatim the words being said to me, which is someday I'll get to do that. Someday I'll get to do that. Someday I'll get to do that. Well, guess what's bearing fruit? Someday has arrived, right? And now is the time to enjoy the spoils of all that fruit, because you more than deserve that. Other people's needs often come first. This isn't now about it's your time to be rewarded. It's your time to experience. It's your time to follow that joy. And it's really going to be an exciting time. So everything is coming back in for you just as it should be at this point in time. And at the same time, two cards dropped and it said, beyond the ordinary. And yes, it will be beyond the ordinary. So allow yourself to, let your mind go. Imagine all the wonderful things that you can go and do and experience, because it is actually limitless and you deserve it. So that's the message coming through for Sue.
Les, because you asked for a card for Sue, I've pulled one for you. And it's this card. And this is the fairy bee. And the words at the bottom of the fairy bee say, my life is sweet.
And she's probably flying around all that fruit.
You're nearly there. You're nearly there.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful card.
Yeah.
Your life is sweet. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Kerrie, have you got Marianne?
Yep, I'll do that. Sorry, Marianne. I'll just focus on you.
Shelly Belly.
Marianne, the card here is ears wide open. Okay, so what I'm getting through for you is that you really need to be sitting and listening, allowing the thoughts and the answers to come through for you. Your guides are wanting to communicate. The second part of that too is that they're also saying, listen for coincidences, because it's like things that you're asking about or you're seeking answers to, you will just randomly find someone talking about it, right? So keep your ears open for that, because it's more than a coincidence. It's signposts to a pathway that you're meant to be taking. So they're saying, listen to that. Now, this card can also indicate that there's like whispers going on, but don't over listen to the whispers going on or what other people are saying. So it could be that they're saying, oh, that's not a good idea, or that's not a good idea, or I don't believe in that. That can be true for them. It doesn't mean it's true for you, right? So your guides are encouraging you to listen to the guidance, follow the guidance, and they'll give you signposts to that by validating it through other things that you hear, through other people. It could be randomly you hear something about it on the radio, or it'll just pop up on TV or come up in the news feed. They're saying, listen to that, okay? Because it's giving you the answers that you need.
My lovely Shelley, you've got the deep, dark sea mermaid. What the deep, dark sea mermaid says is find solutions in unknown places, in the darkness. Sometimes when we've got a whole lot of decisions that we have to make, we can just get completely overwhelmed by it. And this card is saying, let it go. Like the solutions are there, but overanalysis and too many issues and too many problems are getting in the way. So let it go. The solution will come if you just let go of the things you haven't got any control over, and you'll be amazed at what starts. It's like a domino effect. It might be through a dream. It might be like what Kerrie's just said. You'll overhear a conversation. Solutions in unknown places. So if you're worried about stuff, put it out to the universe. I need you to fix this. I'll deal with this bit and this bit, but I need you to fix this bit for me because it's too hard for me, and wait and see what happens.
Okay, Kerrie, the card that I've got for you is this card here, and it's called Great and Full. Now, I really feel that you've been working on your connection to things, and you have been grounding yourself and feeling your connection to Mother Earth and everything else around you, which is wonderful. You've also been working with, I believe, the law of attraction and putting that energy out there. The universe is saying, be patient, believe it's already there and it's coming in because your cup is about to be filled, right? So a lot of those things, it's just about the timing of that and not having a resistance or not second guessing saying, I don't deserve this or I don't deserve that. Because I feel like the universe is ready to pour out this abundance and really fill you with all these amazing things of happiness, joy and alignment and things that you've been wishing for. Coming in. Don't put the resistance in there yourself. So know that that's coming, and I really feel that you're focusing on the joy, the appreciation and gratitude in your life. Stay in that energy because that's what's attracting everything else in.
Karen, before I get to you, Diane Katovish, Divining Rod session. We did it a couple of weeks ago. Les makes divining rods, and you can go backwards. If you go backwards in our lives, you'll be able to listen to it. So you can actually watch what happened. It was a very silly session. It was great fun, but it was a very silly
fun. It was lots of fun.
So, and Les has actually made divining rods. So if you're interested, my email's up there, celtic.tarot3@gmail.com. And if you want a set of divining rods, we'll link you up with Les, who's making them. So there you go. But I would recommend watching the session.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great fun. Nate was hell over drunk. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. And we also had all of our guides in sync that night. It was just
we did.
Yeah.
It all happened. It was all, everybody was on. Karen, this card is Beauty and the Beast. This card's talking about you need some space in a relationship. You need to put some distance. For you, I'm feeling you need to focus on your stuff. You need to do for you what you need to do. That's how it feels. And not feel guilty about doing what you need to do for you. For me, relationships aren't just, your husband or whatever. For me, relationships could be anybody that's taking your energy or taking your time or you're feeling pressured by. So, or expectations on you. So for you, this is very much about, I just need some space. I need a bit of time on my own. Go and sit beside your little waterfall and have a think about what you want the next 6 months to look like. And then how you can achieve that. And for you, that's your homework. So there you go.
Okay. So Marie, the card that Spirit has given me for you tonight is this card here, and it's called Quietening the Mind. So what Spirit is encouraging you to do, if you can, is to work with some guided meditations. Now, look at Nate's YouTube page. He's just put in, there's 2 great meditations on there that you can do. There's also some meditations on my Harmony for Tranquility page under a playlist for meditations, and also on Annie O Celtic Tarot page on YouTube as well. They're encouraging you to slow down your thinking, because I feel like so many thoughts are running through your mind at one time that it's hard to think clearly about the clarity. So they're saying by quietening your mind and learning how to meditate more and allowing that flow energy to come in, it'll assist with clarity of thinking. And that feels important right now because I feel like you're constantly questioning yourself or running over things in your mind over and over and over and over. And it's getting you stuck. I just got the word stuck in that energy. So they really want you to shift the energy, and you can use meditation to do that.
Lorraine, this card, it says a beautiful rat. Now, I got two cards for you. The message from this card is take care of yourself. And the second card that fell out, I pulled, and they both came out at the same time. This one is Little Wolf Girl. And what this is saying is it's all right to be alone. I'm feeling that you're feeling unsupported. You're feeling like you have to do everything all by yourself. And in terms of this, it's like if I just ignore it, it'll go away. And you just keep pushing through and pushing through and pushing through. And I think it's really important that you stop and take a breath and actually look after yourself for a minute. And God forbid you would ask for help, but it could be a plan, girlfriend. You know, this feeling of being unsupported. Sometimes physical pain manifests as a result of emotional pain or stress. So, and that's where I'm feeling that it's all about not being supported, not being held up, not being doing everything all by yourself. So I would say, take a breath, work out where you're at, work out where you're not being or feeling supported, and then use your words and ask for help.
Robin, the card that Spirit gave me for you is this beautiful card here, and it's Earth Magic. So you are, if you're not already spending time outdoors, it's almost like, yeah, barefoot on the grass. You can see there. That's what I was really attracted to with this card, and really connecting to everything and enjoying life. Um, if you're not already doing it, I believe it's coming, but the words that keep coming through to me, so I do feel that it's current, is you're going, wow, that is so beautiful. Wow, that is so amazing. And you're actually seeing the magic and the miraculousness that is this earth, that is this planet, that is this experience. And you're connecting with the joy of that. So go you, keep dancing in that magical energy of the earth. Because it's really raising your energy, and it's bringing a vitality and joy into your life, and that's spilling over into other areas of your life. So improved health, improved thinking, improved sleep. I'm just seeing it all moving forward, but it's all linked to this going, wow, this is this magical connection.
Tracy, are you waiting on a letter? What you've got is Dragonfly Mermaid. You have attracted wonderful news. There's something exciting coming your way. She's very sultry, this mermaid. She's a bit naughty, but it just feels that there's a lot of pink in this as well, and a lot of green, which is around healing. But it just feels very much that something exciting is just about to come to you. There's news coming to you. There's visitors coming to you. There's I just feel there's this complete turnaround, and that things are just all of a sudden going to fly for you. It's like you're blossoming, you're growing. I've got my tingles all down my body. I just feel, strap yourself in, girl. You're in for an exciting ride. It feels fabulous.
Mm-hmm. And just before I read your card, Anne, I just wanted to note something that Shelley had said here. And she said, my Lord, some of these messages for others seem messages for me too. Is that weird? No, it is not weird. And what you might even notice too is, as strangely as it is, um, because Colleen's doing her best to do everything in order where she can. But some of the message you'll see, there's almost a synergy between when Annie's reading and I'm reading. There's similar messages coming through for people. And quite often, when you're connected with each other, there is some synchronicity across the messages that are coming through. And how this works is, particularly if we get to a stage where we can't read for everybody, is that Spirit then organizes it so that the messages that we answer are for that person, but are also in a strange way going to resonate with other people for where they're at as well. It's the same thing when you see a live medium. Those messages that come through may be for that person, but there's a lot of messages in there that relate to what someone else wanted to know as well. And the universe just sorts it out. It's pretty miraculous, really. Yeah. Okay, so Anne, on to you. What Spirit gave me is a higher view. Now, I love this card because you're just soaring above it all. But what it can indicate is that you could be down in the detail right now, overthinking some of the detail and overthinking some of the idiosyncrasies of all of that. And that you could be feeling stuck, or that in looking at all of the detail, that you're trying to control everything around you for a particular good outcome. Now, the intention is really good, but you can't always control other people because that's their journey. And sometimes we need to go above all of that and take a higher view, right? Because when you do that, you'll actually be able to get out of that nitty-gritty detail and see a way forward, a new vision and a new movement forward. So taking that higher view actually puts it all together for you. And there's some great answers there. And I can just see you soaring from one thing to the next. So see the higher view. Don't focus so much on any obstacles, right? Because you have some great things coming in for you.
Diane, 2 cards stuck together. Something is about to end for now. You're at the end of a chapter. That's how I feel. It's like a new chapter is about to begin. And then the second card, butterflies in the gloom. After sadness, happiness and hope return. So it feels very much like there's been some loss or some grief, an ending, a closure. But what that's done is it's opened so many more possibilities for you. So perhaps you've been feeling a bit, down and things haven't been going so well, or there's been a bit of a feeling of, well, things have changed so much recently. I'm not who I was before. You're on the cusp of things are on the up and up. Happiness and hope are coming back. It's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Felicia, the card that Spirit has brought through for you is this beautiful card here, and it's called a deep breath. Now, what I feel around you is life is quite busy, right? That you've got a lot of demands on your time. There's lots of things going on around you, and they're just reminding you. Actually, I'm going to take something that Annie said earlier, which is about the same message being about being a human doing. So you're doing, right? And Spirit is saying, remember to take that deep breath, So actually sitting down and doing nothing is doing something, because it's allowing you to re-energize, reconnect, and reprioritize where your energy is going. So it's almost like How can it be this week? How can it be this month? How can it be here? Where's this time gone? Everything is moving very rapidly. And that's just society as a whole right now. We're getting caught up in that sort of time warp stuff that's happening. But they say, take some time out, take a deep breath, and connect with yourself. And they're saying you're doing this, but they want you to do some more of it, okay? Because there's some great connections coming in. I feel like there's a real awakening happening for you at the moment, and a real awakening and connection to your higher self and a higher understanding. So this is definitely the energy that's around you. So human being, not human doing, is the message.
Okay, so Miss Pia, you are the last one, and you have a beautiful card. It's actually called Fiona and the Unicorn. And there she is. And what this is saying is the gift of sacred sight. I feel you've been working really hard on developing your skills. And I feel that, you know, you've been doing your meditations and you've been maybe struggling a wee bit. It's all right there at your fingertips, right there. And all you need to do is trust. This is very much about trusting yourself, because you've got it, gal. Like, absolutely got it. You're 100% on track, but then your head interferes and gets busy and says, oh, is that right? Is that real? Is that me? Or is that somebody else? Is that real? Or am I making this up? For you, you can do this. You can do this. And it's just about trusting. That's all. You're right there. So trust yourself. And yes, Nate says, is that a message for Fiona too? If Fiona needs it, Fiona can have it. But Fiona, Fiona has so many gifts, amazing gifts. I've been looking at some of Fiona's stuff. She's incredible. And I think she's guided in how she works and the stuff that she does. She is magical. Yeah. So if Fiona wants the magical unicorn as well, she's welcome to it. So there you go, Fee. You get a magical unicorn right on your shoulder to help you.
And look at all our beautiful people in chat. Gosh, I love our community and everyone that joins us on these lives. I love you guys so much. Really appreciate you. And look, we've had messages in there for the beautiful Colleen, who we love and adore, who sits behind the scenes for us and is our bubble baby. She does all our bubbles for us, so we can see the messages on screen and you can see also what we're answering to. So a huge thank you. Now, Annie did draw a card for Colleen before the live tonight, to show a card for her. But just quickly, Cole, this is the end of that message, because I think you got like 30 seconds or 40 seconds before I have to throw you all off to go live. And this is opening to discovery. And that's beautiful because it follows on from the other one. So rather than pushing everything, just be open to that discovery coming into you, because it's definitely coming. So that's our message for you, beautiful. Okay, well, that's for another fortnight. Now, next fortnight, depending on, we think this is going to happen. We're not sure just yet. We'll see with the timing. But the beautiful AJ is going to be back with us next fortnight for part 2 of crystals, looking at the crystal pairs, which will be really exciting to have her back again. So
she's got no voice at the moment. She can't talk.
No. So we'll just have to see how that goes. If not, then we'll be back to our normal topic schedule, so that's fine. But all going well, she'll be there, so there'll always be a backup plan. Thank you, everybody, for all of your back and forth tonight. Thank you, my guides and angels, for connecting so beautifully with me tonight, so I didn't look silly. I appreciate that. A little bit of ego.
Nate's just put up, don't forget Thursday. So Thursday night, some of you have actually registered. This is advanced tarot. So if you're coming, what I need you to bring is I need you to bring a pen and a pencil, because you have to write stuff down. Dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
And your tarot cards. And it has to be tarot. It can't
Mm-hmm.
be oracle cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're going to be working with the Celtic Cross. And what we're going to be doing is like an extension. So why I put it out to the people who have actually played with tarot or have done it, I want people, this is an advanced class. This is not a beginner's class. This is for people, because I'm not going to go right back to the beginning and explain. I'm doing that in a couple of weeks. But right at this moment, this is a larger one. So and I'm going to put people into, Red of White cards are fine. I'm going to put people into rooms so that you can play with each other. And it will be a bit clunky because it's a different way of doing it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. And
It'll
once
be
you get
fun.
it just makes so much sense.
Yeah,
You'll
it
love
just
it.
clicks. But
Yeah.
again, there'll be homework, because this one you do have to practice. This one
But
doesn't.
you'll run this again, won't you, Annie? Like,
I will run it again.
we'll run it again. So those doing the intro certainly can do that and do the advanced another time, or you can jump into this, but it's going to be
Well, why I offered this one is because the people, I know that a lot of the people who have actually registered to do this one were playing with their cards and reading for each other. So they've had a play and they've got the sort of gist of it, and it just feels like they're ready to step up to the next. Oh, Shelley, of course you are. If you're not, I'll get you there.
Yeah, you'll be right.
It's good practice. You'll be right. It's good practice, and again, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
So we'll run it and see what happens, and then I want feedback. I want you to tell me. And again, some of you, this will work for you, and some of you, you'll say, "Now this is too convoluted," and don't worry about it. If you're not at the advanced level yet, by the time you've finished this class and practiced, you will be. Either that or you'll put it out the window.
Yeah.
Because this is
you'll
about,
take a step back and do it again. So that's okay.
this is about linking. So it's about reading the cards together rather than individually. So it just kind of teaches you. But come along. The thing about it is you're going to be playing with each other. And what Kerrie has said right from the very beginning of this is there's never any judgment, and you can't get it wrong. And if people say, well, it doesn't resonate with me, just say, yes, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. See how well she does that? See how well she does it?
Just wait. You're in for a surprise.
It's true because you've been doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
And for those who are in Brisbane area or could get to Fitzy's at Logan Home, Annie and I are running the gathering there on not this coming Sunday. Oh my gosh.
It's the 25th.
Next Sunday. Next Sunday at Fitzy's Logan Home. And so in the morning, 9:30 to 11:30 is the Secrets of the Tarot, which is an introductory workshop that Annie will be leading, and we'll be running face-to-face with the group there. And then in the afternoon from 12 o'clock onwards, Annie and I have private appointments for either aura photography, tarot reading, or the vibro sound healing bed, so the sound bed treatments and sessions. So that's an exciting afternoon. Now there's a few places left on the workshop, not many. And Annie and I have a few appointments left in the later afternoon. Now, if you're really keen for tarot, we're also going to rope in the beautiful AJ if her throat's working and well enough to come in. So if there's extra people, AJ's a brilliant reader, and we can book you in with her also. So Let us know. Appointments are really important. If you just come on the day, we'd hate to disappoint you if we're fully booked by then. So you can see all the details of that on my Facebook page or Annie's Facebook page and our contact numbers to make those bookings. So if you're around, we'd love to see you there live. Meet you in person if we haven't met you before.
So now we're going to pop off with love and light.
We are indeed. Just give me 2 seconds because my little mousey has decided it doesn't want to work anymore.
Before you hit it, we'll say bye-bye.
Don't you love that?
Bye-bye, everybody, and thank you so much for being with us. Enjoy your granddaughter's wedding. Have a wonderful time, Anne. That's awesome. The universe is going to bring back my voice.
Yes. Yeah. That's I miss you already. Yeah. All right. Well, have a fantastic fortnight, everyone. For those that we're going to see face to face next Sunday, can't wait. It's going to be lots of fun that day. We're really looking forward to it. Don't forget Annie's Advanced Tarot on Thursday night. And everyone else, we'll see you in a fortnight. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye, y'all. Love you, love you.